Well guys, you finally did it. You talked me into it. I'm inviting you, yes you, past clients, future clients, possible clients, to my property for the first ever Whitetail Land Management Services Field Day. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I set up my world-class personal hunting property. Everything from timber stand improvement, food plotting, where my trail cameras are, and where my tree stands are. Beyond that, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I strategically hunt my property to consistently hunt mature bucks and kill my target bucks every year. I'm even inviting you guys to bring maps of your own personal property so that we can sit down one-on-one and pick those properties apart. So sign up quick guys, because we are only offering a limited, and I mean limited, amount of spots for this visit. So guys, you're in this video because you probably didn't kill your buck yet, and it's late season, and you're trying to figure out, where do I hunt? Well, I'm going to help you figure that out. So guys, it kind of depends whether you're hunting private or public to a certain extent. So try and picture your own given situation, take the information I give you guys and run with it. So if I'm a public land hunter and I'm looking to hunt any late season public land deer, I'm really trying to focus on what's going on in that public land. Chances are there's probably not a lot of crops, and maybe there is. And if there are crops, we should probably focus on those fields to a certain extent. But otherwise, we should focus on some of the other hard mass and even some of the other special food sources that I really like to hunt late season. Let's start with those food sources that maybe exist on those properties. Let's talk about the corn and the beans. Yeah, okay, let's hunt on the edges of those guys, right? Well, maybe not. The reason I would tell you guys to not hunt on those is because it's public land. You're not the first and you won't be the last guy to go to those fields. And in fact, I would probably encourage you guys to move off of them. Okay, and because this is public land, guys, I would really encourage you to in-season scout heavily. So I would start at these field edges and maybe look for the historical sign, look for the rubs, and maybe some old scrapes that are taking place during this time, because it still is, yes, late season, but the second rut could be occurring. So let's find some of this sign, and let's find it around these condensed areas in which these deer are feeding. Maybe it's these fields, and maybe it's acorns still, maybe it's red oaks, and maybe it's even something else I'm going to bring up in this video. But I'd start there and move back. Find these trails, especially in the snow. Guys, if we have snow now, snow tells everything. You know, that tells us where the bedding is, where they're traveling from, where the transition area is, and everything. So let's follow these trails back to these bedding areas until you start bumping the deer. And right about then, it's probably time to set up, or at least put that in the back of your head for future hunts. Maybe we go in there, we just scout the first day, but now you know when you go in there the second day where to set up. So for the most part, I'm just starting at those locations in which the condensed sign is taking place, where the food source is generally at, and then I'm going to work back from there until I start bumping deer. It's pretty simple. So let's say you don't have those crop fields. Where are you going to hunt? That's where it can be difficult, whether you're the private land guy or the public land guy. And I guess we can mesh all these together, guys. It doesn't really matter if you're on private or public. It just matters that you know how to look for the right sign come late season. So once again, let's start looking for some of this buck sign that still might be taking place, some of the rubs, some of the scrapes, because that second rut is still a thing, and let's let it lead us back into other locations, and let's follow these predominant trails and hopefully start finding the red oaks, which are super attractive late season. And I'm going to bring up red oaks because generally your white oaks are all gone by then, the acorns at least, and because of the palatability of those red oaks and the red oak acorns, they get left till later in the season. But if you can find them, whether you're in the far north or even farther south, they're generally the next most palatable food source on that hierarchy, or is, I guess, the next most attractive food source on that hierarchy. And now if you can't find those, here's the next thing you need to look for: the locust pods, guys. The locust pods are one of the most attractive things that you can find late season, whether there's crops around or not. So finding these locust pods and setting up on them as if they're the destination food source very well might get you that target buck killed. At the end of the day, guys, I know you're worn down. I know you're tired, but it's late season and you got to get out there, because there's no time of the year in which deer are more predictable, more patternable. All you have to do is go figure out that pattern. Those are some of the tips that I would recommend when it comes to bagging your late season buck.